Did you happen to notice this car? Did you? Cause I did. And today for you, you get an inside look. Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Chris Williams back with another episode 2, where we get an opportunity to play with this bad boy, which is the Corvette Stingray. Now, we got a lot to cover and a lot to talk about and some really cool quirks, and this one has a unique feature that I actually like. As you guys know, I'm not a two-seater person, but I mean, come on, man. Like, when you drive this, let's go inside. So one of the great things about this car, first of all, there's a lot of great things, but one of the cool things about this car are the features inside of this car. I'm 6'2". I fit pretty comfortably. Unfortunately, can't move the seat back. One of the great things is I can control the steering wheel, move it back and forth, right to my liking. But one of the things I actually like about the way this car is built is some of the features that this car comes with that are second to none. And I will tell you that one of the great things that they did with this car is to really put a lot of focus and attention to the way this car is built and the functionality that this car has. So I just wanted to be able to show you a couple of things that you might find pretty incredible as you are maybe looking at a Stingray for yourself. Maybe you're thinking about, hey, maybe this is a car that I wanted to learn more about. I'm gonna give you some ideas of just how cool this car is. So what I love about the way this car is built is it is probably the dream convertible, but also a luxury car at the same time. I mean, when you think about it, it's got a drop top that's automatic, by the way. It also has the premium Bose surround sound system to it. And also what's kind of crazy is you really do feel like you're in something that's like super high end, of course, which this car is. You look at the MSRP, it's not a cheap car. However, what I like about the way they've done this is this white interior, tops down. It just feels like a beautiful day. And then when you're done and when you want to be able to go ahead and put this car top back on, you just press this button here, and guess what? All things go back the way that they were before. So you hold it down, and then you're able to enjoy the inside of your car to your liking. I mean, what's not to like about this car? Now let's talk about being in the cockpit of this beast. First and foremost, one of the things that I like is how super quiet the inside is as you're driving. The great thing about that is normally you do love the roar of the engine, and because the engine is in the back, you definitely feel it when it kicks and when it drives. But what I also like is the fact that you can just be cruising in automatic, and it just feels like it's a great glide. I love how close this feels, but also knowing to the extent that they went with the exterior of the body. I mean, it's a wide body car, no doubt about that, and pretty long too. Being here in the main, seat, I actually feel pretty comfortable. I don't feel uneasy at all. Again, I'm a little taller, so my knees sit up a little higher than most, but that's not the worst thing on the planet. I will say this though, one of the cool things that I like about the way this is built out is they've moved some things around, and it's different. I'll say that. It's not good or bad, it's just different. And different sometimes is okay. They've moved a lot of the controls. I'll talk about that in a moment, but they also gave us an opportunity to really get a chance to see in the driver's seat of a luxury convertible, which is pretty dope. Again, this is a Stingray, ladies and gentlemen. One, if you didn't even want to let down your actual windows, you can actually let down this back, right back here, let some air in. I think that's pretty cool. You see, we got the Stingray right here. My co-pilot obviously would be my wife sitting here. One of the things I also like too is the way they built out this seat. This is like a racing seat. So you've got your air cooling here, obviously, so that you can, you got your AC, your heat flows through here. Carbon fiber up at the top. The Stingray Corvette symbol is up at the top as well. It kind of looks like a fox. I love that look. And all of your controls, which is pretty dope to see. All right, so let's talk about this interior. So the interior is absolutely insane. This steering wheel is not quite a circle. The top and bottom are flat, and the sides are kind of bubbled out, which is pretty cool. Some people, you know, want to hold it up top, hold it down low, but what I like is there's a huge gap, obviously, between the top of the airbag and the main column, so that you can see the tachometer behind, you know, the steering wheel, but then also a little smaller space underneath. I like that because sometimes I might want to drive one-handed, something like that. That might feel good to me. The other thing is that I love the volume controls on the steering wheel are just at the bottom to the right. Also like the fact that your favorites, once you set them inside of your radio station, are also to the bottom left, which is pretty cool too. On your steering wheel, you do have your heated steering wheel, which I like that. Voice control, hanging up the phone, a dial switch to be able to move through your commands. You also have your, that's all on the right side. On the left side, you do have basics, cruise control, setting it, speed up, and turning it off as well. Now you do have your paddle shifters behind it as well. These are actually pretty huge too. I can use all four of my fingers right behind it and be able to press any one at any time. You can switch this between manual and also going into auto as well. But there are a couple of other things that this one actually has that is also awesome as well. You can actually move this into sport mode. So when you turn it into sport mode, you actually get a chance to see what it feels like. The natural setting is tour. You can move it into sport, but you'll notice the screen changes once you put it into sport mode. The screen turns red. If you could feel the engine the way I can, the engine changes. You hear kind of the rumble gets a little louder. The screen turns red. It's a pretty cool look. It lets you know, hey, I'm ready to go. Let's get it. Then you can also put this thing in track mode. Now, when you change track mode, your screen behind the steering wheel changes and you can see many more different things. You see your fuel economy, kind of your trip. You'll notice your gauge. If you're going manual on a track, you'll notice your gauge for changing shift. But also, it'll tell you if you want to be able to look at your best miles per gallon, if you want to be able to see what your temperature is, your PSI for your tires. It just changes the whole scene, and it's actually pretty cool. Now, here's where things get interesting. So I mentioned to you that, hey, the interior is set a little, it's just different. They're taking a risk, they're trying something different, and this is different. I'm actually cool with what they tried differently once you got used to driving this thing for a while and learning where the controls are. Well, this hand controls 90% of the things that you're gonna do when you're driving, mainly because right here where your hand rests, you have your gear shifts. Your gear shifts are pull tabs, which is pretty cool. So you have your drive, a press in for manual, neutral, reverse, and you also have your parking as well. Now, one of the also cool features is you could take a picture from the front camera right here by pressing this button. The other cool part is that where you see the symbol is where you're changing the mode of the car. I actually like that. I think that's a really dope look, and a way it makes it different. It makes it feel like at any given time I can switch this bad boy into moving at warp speed, and I'm ready to go, and I love that. Everything here, including the seats, is outlined in this pastel leather, I almost call it, and I actually like it. It's different. Sometimes people go stark white. This is more like of a faded kind of white leather, which I actually like, blends in really well with the black. Now, where they really made the stretch was instead of having your heated seats, your everything else, they put it all in a line that actually makes it really, really cool. So I have my heat at the very top, my heated and cooling seats right below it, syncing my temperature in the car if I wanted to, putting it on audio, my defrosters, my vents if I want my feet and my face. I can also control the fan speed. I also control whether it's on or off. I control the AC. Everything as you see is right here. And then all of that below that is where the passenger can control their seats as well. Again, they went with a stretch. I actually think it's pretty cool. I see no problems with it. I will tell you right now, this is definitely one car to get.
So here we are. I mean, the front of this car is absolutely amazing. I love this kind of like fox look to the logo, along with the lights. The lights have kind of this sleek kind of, look to them that are really cool. The front of this car is incredible. What I like is about the detail that they put into every little portion here. As you can kind of see, the sharp edges, the lines to the car. I mean, it just screams, elegance and detail. You'll notice the Corvette is kind of embossed inside of that as well, along with the camera sensors that are in the front. And when you look at this from either side, I mean, it's just, I love sightlines to cars. So this is just amazing. You'll also notice that the tires, what I love with this one, it is, and the rims are just the black powder coat, the Corvette symbol right there on the brakes, and the main Corvette logo inside as well. And then also here with the rear view, I mean, the rear view mirror is pretty much standard. But what I like is that, some companies are starting to take a risk. They're starting to remove that, but it's pretty dope. I like the way it looks with the gloss black. Here is a vent that keeps the airflow going throughout the car, which I think is great for continuous movement as you're driving and cruising on the highway or on the streets. And then also, it's kind of a really great look from this angle too. When you look at the rear of the car towards the front, I mean, it's just an incredible look. I love this car and the way it's built. The one thing I thought that was really cool was it's called the Stingray, right? So look at the gills on the back end of this car. And remember, the engine is in the trunk. So it's a pretty dope look. And what you'll get a chance to notice is the gills are there. You see the logo, and then you see Corvette right there on the back end. Shout out to my boy Donnie over at Carolina Auto Direct. You might want to go check him out to see this beast. And so then you'll notice the sensors are in the back. I love the way the bumper is built. Again, simple, but yet really great detail. You'll also notice, again, that airflow that was on the side of the door panel flowing all the way through the back. These are intentional things that they've done. You'll notice the back lights. I love the way these look. I love this spoiler. This spoiler is different. It's classy, but again, there's that Stingray. I just wanted to make sure you guys got a close-up of it. You know how we do. It's beautiful. It's elegant. I love the way they put this car together. Every little detail has been truly, truly amazing.
Well, that does it for me. This has been another episode of Inside Look right here on TWAC at the Stingray Corvette Edition. Listen, y'all have a great day. Take care, and I'm going to have some fun.